That's so weird. Hey guys, it's Gigi. Today I'm going to be doing a thrift flip video, and I've been so obsessed with these videos. I think they're so interesting and so like satisfying. So I'm gonna try doing that today. Basically, I'm using like hand-me-downs or just old clothes that I don't normally wear, and also things that I got from the thrift store, hence the name Thrift Flip. And I'm gonna be switching them and changing them into something that I would normally wear. So I went to this massive thrift store and I got a bunch of things. I tried on so much. It took me like 20 minutes in the dressing room. But anyway, let's just get on into the actual flips. I'm going off of a bunch of different things that I saw off Pinterest. So I'll have that Pinterest board linked down below and I'll make it public if anybody is looking into flipping some of this kind of stuff. The first thing I flipped is this navy blue crew neck. So I decided I was gonna do a floral Nike swoosh. I don't even know where to start. I got this embroidery kit off of Amazon. There are so many things that I want to embroider. The first step that I did was print out a Nike swoosh that was the size that I wanted to be on my crew neck. And then I traced it on parchment paper, which I'm just realizing I didn't have to do. I could have just cut out the Nike swoosh that I printed. So yeah, and then I cut out that Nike swoosh and then I traced it onto my crew neck. Once I had that little layout, I attached my embroidery hoops with a screwdriver.
This is too much, I know. This is too much, I know. Can you breathe?
And then I made my first knot. This is the picture that I went off of, and I'm pretty sure that type of stitch is called a lazy daisy stitch. For that, you basically take your needle and stick it from the back at the center point. Then you go down really close to the first point that you poke through. And before you pull it all the way through, you want to make another point at the top of the petal that will kind of grab the string and make that loop. And to fix the loop and make sure it stays, you do another one going to the back, really, really close to the end point of the petal. So that was the stitch that I used, and I alternated it with 4 different colors. I finally finished. It took me a long time, an embarrassing amount of time. Here it is. It is based off of this photo. I'm going to finally unscrew it. Hopefully it's even. If it's not even, I'll be a little embarrassed, but nothing we can do about it now. Guys! Ah! Oh my god. Wait, it looks so cool. That one took a while, but I'm so proud of this one. It turned out really, really well, especially for my first time embroidering.
Can you breathe with me? Need to see you go.
God, I look like a mess today. And yesterday, so this is just a bad video. I'm in the middle of my lunch break for school, and so I have an hour to do this. I have a bunch of jeans that are just plain like this, so why not switch it up? Because I got this new embroidery kit, I really wanted to try it again, and I decided to embroider my jeans. So at the ankles, I was planning on doing little fire flames, and this is the reference photo. First thing I'm gonna do, because I kind of want a frayed look, is take out the stitching here. I'm gonna take my seam ripper and then just take out the parts that I don't want. I finally took off all of the stitching. Just like I did for the crew neck, I cut out my pattern, placed it on my jeans where I wanted it to go, traced around the flames, and that left the markings on where I was going to stitch. This one was easier. All I did was a straight stitch following the pattern of the flames. Okay guys, it's been an hour, one side. I haven't done this side yet. I haven't done the other ankle. So at this rate, it's gonna take me 4 hours to finish this. Y'all, I finished the ankles finally. It's like 8 p.m. and The Bachelorette's starting soon, so while I was watching The Bachelorette, I frayed the ankles, just took some tweezers and started pulling the strings out. Then I did a cross stitch pattern on the back in this like margin on my jeans, and I don't know why I added that, I just felt like it. And then I also spontaneously did a blanket stitch around the front pockets. The next thing I flipped was this gray like crew neck from Aeropostale, and I actually got it as a hand-me-down. And I wanted to turn it into a tie cardigan. I honestly have no pattern, no plan on what to do. I just have like a rough understanding to make it look the way I want. I'm so scared. I don't want to mess it up. I know I have to start. I have to start, but I don't really want to start. The very first thing I'm gonna do is cut down the middle of the shirt. So I marked straight down, and I also marked across the crew neck. Here we go, first cut. Okay, I did it. I think I did too much. Now for the vertical line, be sure to only cut the front layer and not the back as well. So far, it's like a cropped sweater. But the thing is, I'm just gonna sew the edges first. I think that's the safest, and then we'll address the tie later. Folded in all the edges and pinned them down, and an iron was very, very helpful for this. So then I sewed those hems. Alright y'all, so I just finished sewing the edges of everything. Now I'm gonna make the little tie, or the string. I wanted the width of the tie to be the width that my hems were. That was about 1 centimeter. So what I did was cut out 2 centimeters of fabric across the entire thing, so that once I folded it over, it was 1 centimeter. So I folded that right sides facing each other, pinned it together, and I sewed that strip of fabric together. And I also sewed one end of the tube and left the other tube open. The next part that I did was flip the tubes. Basically, you take some type of pole. You could use like a straw or a pencil maybe, but I used a wooden skewer, and I placed it at the top of where the sewn end was and started pushing the rest of the fabric towards the straw and just down the skewer, so then it would end up flipping itself. So I kept on pushing, and then it all ended up right side out. I sewed the unfinished end together. That first tube did not do well at all. Literally, it looked so bad. It wasn't sewn consistently, and it was like falling apart. I knew I would have to do a second tube. Either way, I would have needed 2 tubes, not 1. So I ended up making another tube with following the same exact steps. I just made sure that I stitched it on a straight line, and I also cut that better looking tube in half, so that would end up being like the tie ends of my cardigan. The last step I did was pin my tubes to the cardigan. I pinned my first tube, which is the longer tube, to the back, and then at about this part of my shirt, I pinned the 2 ties, and so that obviously left some hanging for me to actually tie. Final thing was to sew the tubes onto the shirt. The last thing I decided to flip was this black mini skirt that I thrifted. I wanted to do this contrast pattern because I feel like it's kind of trendy. I also wanted to change up the skirt a little bit, so I wanted to add a slit. I think first I'm gonna work on the slit. I have no clue how to make a slit. I'm thinking just cut like a line. I'm just gonna full send it. I really don't know like how to do it, but we'll figure it out as we go. But I'm just going to cut like, oh, that's gonna be a long slit. And then I'm guessing what I have to do is fold it inward like this. So I'm gonna pin it up, and I'm also gonna try it on and see if it fits the way I like. It looks so weird. That's not right. The slip was not very successful. It widens out when I put it on, but it's still a slit nonetheless. Alright, so I'm just gonna sew it and hope for the best because maybe it'll like, I don't know. Only thing I had to do next was make that contrast look. So I used white thread, white bobbins. My sewing machine has this stitch that looks like what the manufacturers use on the inside of your shirts and stuff. And that happened to be stitch number 9 for me. Hopefully your sewing machine has a stitch that looks something like that. If not, just a zigzag stitch would do. Or if you have a serger, that also is very similar to the look that I was going for. And my skirt already had like these geometric lines going through it, so I decided that was perfect for me to just follow the lines. And then I also went over the slit with that stitch, so hopefully that looks better, and it made this really cool contrast look. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because I really enjoyed making all these DIYs, and I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys are clicking off this video with a big smile on your face, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!